Thank you for tuning in today. Today I want to talk to you guys about my 90-year-old dad.
Thanks for watching this Tom Pace video. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe to this channel. Tom Pace is a multi-millionaire and wants to share with you all his experience.
My father is 90 years old. Now I'm 62 years old, so he had me when he was about 28 years old. So we've been together for a long time, obviously 62 years. Now we've had our great times, we've had our tough times, we've had our boring times, we've had times when I wasn't around him at all, when he wasn't around me, when he lived out of state, but now he lives in Oklahoma City. He's 90 years old. And a couple of years ago, he moved back from Florida to Oklahoma City. And when he moved back from Florida to Oklahoma City, he was on a limited income basis. He had a little bit of money coming in from Social Security, and he had a little bit of money saved, but he wanted to have a better standard of living than what the income he had would allow. So I believe that we are to love and to respect our parents no matter what. To love and respect our parents. Now, I don't want my dad to live in poverty. I want my dad to have a good life, or a great life, the best possible life he can have, because he's my father. So a couple of years ago when he came back to Oklahoma City, he was really kind of depressed. He was really kind of ready to end living naturally, just kind of fade away and die. But I don't think it was time for him. I think he should be able to really enjoy the last few years of his life. And so one of the things I did was I invited my father to go to Burning Man. Now Burning Man is the festival in the desert. And at the time, I guess he was about 87 or 88 years old. I said, "Dad, let's go to Burning Man." He'd been to Burning Man a few other times before, and he always had a great time. And I said, "Let's go to Burning Man." And at first he said, "No, I don't want to go. I don't feel like it. I don't think I have the energy." So one of the things I did was I bought him a tricycle, an electric-powered tricycle, so he could get around Burning Man, and he would have the mobility to do what he wanted to do. And since everybody is so nice at Burning Man, when he got lost, they just kind of shared with him of what direction to go back to find us again. Now when we got back from Burning Man, my dad continued to go downhill. He'd forget things, he would do things that were irrational, and we were having some problems with the neighbors where he was living. Now, as a lot of you know, I have a lot of rental homes, and my daughters have rental homes. And so we allowed him to move into one of the rental homes for a very low monthly rental fee. Zero. He got to live in the rental house for zero. So he didn't have that expense of $900 to $1,100 a month, and he didn't have to pay utilities, so that was another couple $100. And so the money he had, he was able to use for food and travel, the kind of things that he wanted to do. He didn't have to pay for his housing. Well, we started having some issues with the neighbors. And actually one of the neighbors called to complain, and he was talking to the landlord, which this house was owned by my daughter, who at the time I think was probably 16 years old. And he shared about his complaints about this man that was renting the house. And so she said, "What you probably need to do is talk to me." So he gave me a phone call, and he started sharing with me all the things that were disturbing him and the neighborhood about some of the behaviors that my father had going on. One of the things my dad wanted to do was he wanted to hire a caregiver, someone to help him with the duties around the house and help with the cooking and the cleaning and so forth. But my father is cheap, just like me. So he would run an ad on Craigslist looking for someone to be an assistant, not his caregiver, but his assistant. And that he was willing to pay, get ready for this, he was willing to pay $50 a week for a full-time live-in assistant. Please hit the like button right now. Just go ahead and like this video as you're watching it. $50 a week for a full-time live-in assistant, and he would provide free housing. Now, $50 a week is not going to get you a very capable assistant. He got some really interesting people apply for the job. Some of them were meth addicts. Some of them had other drug dependencies and alcohol dependencies. Some of them had serious criminal records where they continued to commit crimes. So there was a lot of drama that was going on at my dad's house. So I kind of got in there and got involved, and I hired a caregiver to be at the house. Well, it didn't work out for various reasons, and the drama continued to increase. So finally, I made a decision to move my father into an assisted living place. Now, having a 90-year-old father or a father that's in the 80s, and I am responsible. I take on the responsibility of helping my father to have a good standard of living and to have self-respect and to be respected by others and to be loved. Whether or not my father deserves respect or not, it is my obligation as a son to respect my father. Period. Respect and love my father and mother. My mother has gone on to heaven, but my father's here, so I'm going to do everything possible to respect my father. So when he moved into the assisted living, at first it was difficult. Here he had a home with all of his stuff, his car, his boat, stuff in the garage. Even if he didn't use it, he knew he had it. And now he moved into a small room with very little stuff. And it was difficult for him to make that adjustment. Matter of fact, he quit watching television. He quit getting on the internet. He quit doing a lot of activities. He increased the amount of time he slept. He did two basic things at the assisted living place. He ate and he slept. And his quality of life continued to go down and down. And then there was a situation where he would wander the halls in the middle of the night, not knowing what he was doing, and they recommended that he move into their memory care facility. And that was really difficult for him. For now, they even shrunk down the stuff that he had even further. And they moved him into the memory care facility, which was locked, had different securities involved, and he didn't fare well there. So we had to do something. They wanted to put him on more medication, and that was plausible, but I really didn't want to drug my dad out. I didn't want him just to be a zombie in a memory care unit. He's not ready. I don't know if anybody should be ready for that. So I have another property, a condominium, with a lovely, wonderful caretaking lady. And she is now working with my father. My father is in the condominium and he gets 24-hour service all day long. She helps him with everything, dressing, taking showers, eating. He doesn't exercise much, and I bought a walker for my father the other day, and it's got the wheels on it. It doesn't have the tennis balls on the bottom. It's got wheels, and he's got brakes and so forth. And now he's starting to get some more exercise. Encouraging my father to exercise is very important, and to take a shower. We're all going to get, I don't know if we're all going to get there, but I feel responsible to make sure I provide the best quality life I can for my children and for my parents and for any of my close relatives. I don't know if it's subsidizing or I just want to, I have this feeling of caring for others. My philosophy is the more I give, the more I live. So it's been difficult working with my father. A lot of times he's just obstinate. He doesn't want to take a shower. He doesn't want to eat. He just wants to sleep. It's been really difficult, and I really have had to pray a lot for God to help me so that I can be there for my father to the best of my ability. And I'm reading books about how to be a better son, how to be a better caregiver. I'm watching videos to learn how to be a better son and a better caregiver. What is it I need to do? You know, I want my father to be healthy. I want him to be happy. I want him to have purpose. Even though he's 90 years old, he can still have purpose. He can still make a positive difference in this world. And one of the challenges I have right now is my father tells me he doesn't believe in God. He doesn't believe in heaven. And that really hurts me, and I'm sure it hurts God, because my father was raised in a Christian family. My father's mother and father had a relationship with Jesus Christ. And today my father says, when I die, I die. There's nothing afterwards. I believe in heaven. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the Lord. I believe in the Holy Spirit. And one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing is because it's unconditional love. To love my Father unconditionally, whether or not He deserves it, so to speak, whether or not He deserves to be respected, I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. It's helping me to grow in character. It's helping me to be more kind and loving and caring. It's not about my dad. It's about me becoming an adult and for me becoming responsible to help my father to have respect and to have dignity in his final years. One of the things I'd like you to do is to hit the like button. It helps the Google and all those people know that this content is worthy, so that it gets reposted. So I appreciate it if you would hit the like button. Thank you.